Are we ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Good morning, Goddess.
Good morning.
How are you? How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for joining us. Excellent. This is our fourth season. This is our third show, our third episode. We are excited about you joining us on our journey of life because our lives are fascinating.
And so we're all about relationships lately because we kind of
Yep.
some new ones. We talked about it last time.
Yep.
And we broached the subject of the 5 love languages, and we
Right.
decided it would be a perfect subject for our next show. So here we are.
Yep. Dr. Gary Chapman gets credit for this. Not us. I can't believe it. But we agree.
We have brilliance to add.
Right.
So.
We agree with what he says, so that makes him twice as brilliant. And the fact that his book, The 5 Love Languages of Love, The 5 Love Languages.
Do you want to read it?
Yeah, I think I'm going to read it now.
Right?
It's a bestseller for good reason, because it actually works.
Well, why does it work? Everybody has their own subjective needs and things that they want that tell them that they're loved. And it's different for everybody, but there are 5 kind of general areas where we kind of all concur, and different people want different things. So you read the ones that are there.
I shall read to you the 5 love languages, which
means how do I feel best being loved? What makes me feel loved?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, is your language of love words of affirmations, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, or physical touch? So, Dr. Gary Chapman once again gets credit for that one. Buy the book and put it to use. Now, you said something earlier that was brilliant. I have 3.
I like all of them.
I know, but they're in a specific order. Yeah. And some people don't have like any of them. Like you bring them a gift and you go, really? I need more stuff. And the other person feels totally unappreciated. I brought you an acorn.
Like your cat brings you lizards.
Right. And not that I don't, actually I don't appreciate the gesture. No, that's not my language of love at all. We've had to talk about that, the cat and I.
Yeah.
But you said something earlier that was brilliant, which was, in the old days, before people had this great tool.
Oh yeah, let me tell
tool.
Let me tell.
I shall. I'm setting you up for a good one.
Oh, thank you.
Good one. This book and these ideas are just a tool, so people can identify at least 1, if not 3, of these 5 languages that they speak in life, so that their loved one can understand their language
and give them what they want. So, when I was younger. And in relationship,
that's
what I would do is I would love my partner the way I wanted to be loved, assuming, of course, that he would magically pick up on this, understand that that's the way I wanted to be loved, and then give it back.
Right. Excellent.
Without any concern or consideration for how my partner wanted to receive.
If it's love, how could it be any different than the way you want to be loved, right?
Right.
Loving is all the things that I do for you, and the way I do them, you obviously now know how to behave.
And it didn't work.
It didn't work.
And
we don't know why, because she's not with him anymore. But anyway, but that is a brilliant statement, Helena, because the point is people didn't know that there were different styles of loving. Besides just, rub my back, I'll do anything, rub my feet, I'm yours.
Okay, so what's yours? What's your love language?
Oh, you know what? I took the test because the book just came out a couple years ago. There's a test.
It's a test.
Go online and take the test. That's under that name.
So we're looking for the dominant love language.
Right, the one that scores the highest, like 9s.
Yeah.
I got 3 9s. Which was how I know I have 3 out of those 5. Any one of those 3 is going to help you out any day of this week.
Which 3 are they? So I can love you better.
Thank you, honey. The first one
I want to give you what you want.
And I love getting what I want. You see how this works already? This is brilliant.
Yeah.
I salute him. Number 1 is physical touch. If I can't be with a person and physically touch them, and because I have a lot of energy, Helena has a lot of energy, when you touch someone, they go, oh.
Yeah, we like to cuddle and tickle and caress
and massage, because if you're in pain or you're in stress, you're stressed out. We're also great physical massage therapists. We are excellent. Thank you. So that touch has deep meaning to both of us. So that does mean I want that in return. I can give it, but I do want that in return.
Yeah, so this is not just about your romantic relationships,
Oh,
but
no.
your friendships as well.
Your children.
Oh, yeah. the
What's
kids.
going to mean something to
Some
them?
kids don't want to be touched at all.
Yeah,
Others
what's
are
that?
clinging and hanging all over you. So
Right.
what is it that feeds and helps them to feel that feeling of fullness and love? For me,
Right.
touch is really, really important.
Yep, physical touch. Now, you haven't taken this test.
No, I haven't.
Yes, so at the next show, I think we'll have her go off
But
stage.
see, I like all
Come
5
back.
of them.
I know you can. Okay, I'm going
I
to tell you
couldn't
the second.
choose.
The second one is quality time.
Oh, big for me.
Because if I can't be with you, why are we in a relationship? You know, if you don't have time for me, or only once a week, like a new relationship, well, Saturday night, I'll say for you.
What's quality
Really?
time, though?
Yeah,
What is
exactly.
quality time?
That took a conversation, let me tell you, because to me, quality time was, well, 5 o'clock. Oh, wait, first thing in the morning, right? I mean, of course, one of those, if it's right for me, now,
Of
why
course
aren't
it's
you
right for you.
Of course it's right for you. Why aren't you behaving right, correctly?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, no, I had to do a little
So
shift.
what is quality time to you?
Quality time for me in a new relationship, which I'm doing the dance, is at least 3 times a week of spending time together, being physically close, having dinner, and doing
sex.
something fun together. Like going to a party, going out to dinner,
Making love.
and okay, fine, at least 6 times a week. What's the point? So conversation ensued, a conversation in which we had to correct or adjust the idea of how that actually was going to be possible. Because if that's what quality time means to me, and if it wasn't or didn't look this way, it was a deal breaker, or the relationship wasn't going to work, what are you going to do? Throw it all out? No. That's where that nasty word for you, compromise, came in, or adjustment, or the dance. How about, instead of 5 times, how about 3 times a week? All right, minimum. If I don't see you 2 times a week because I'm traveling.
She's harsh.
I am.
So clear.
Then I just emotionally don't feel that I'm necessary in your life. I don't feel that I'm enhancing.
I don't necessarily
relationship.
see you 3 times a week.
But once you're in love, you don't have to worry about the.
Oh,
It's an ongoing kind of love, and we talk.
But
and
when
we're
we get together, it's like we were never apart.
right, and that's it. But we are talking about our primary relationships, and if you're not living together, then seeing each other in an amount that makes you feel like they care about you, and it doesn't have to be reasonable. I'm not about being reasonable. I'm about being honest, and I can change my mind maybe later.
See, for me, it's like twice a week was good, but quality time for me is actually having interaction that is meaningful, with eyes connected, and sharing our deepest and most profound and important selves with one another.
Right.
That's quality time. I also really love just hanging out and watching TV. That's really important to me
I
too,
do
because
too.
I love to cuddle, and
Yes.
I love the quiet, and I love sharing.
Right.
But I gotta have that meaningful conversation, interaction, where I'm really diving into that other person's universe and discovering who they are.
Yes.
That for me is the most fun. And the most fun for me in any kind of social situation is hanging out with the people I love.
Yes.
I
Right.
love that more than anything.
As far as friendships go.
Anything.
What are we doing? What are we celebrating? What is it? What's the thing for today? Because you can get stuck in your rut, which if you've got kids, you have a job, and you have to do certain things. But for me, if there's not something that I can look forward to celebrating or being with my family and friends, then I get a little nervous, like my life is not meaningful. I mean, it gets that deep for me. There's no meaning now. There's nothing to celebrate. I have no purpose.
Oh my God.
It gets deep.
Whoa.
So I make sure that doesn't happen for me. I got something going on all the time. I do. And you can play with me or choose not to, but that's okay. Doing what's right for you is going to be right for everyone who loves you. But being honest about it is the first step.
So we talked about quality
Show's
time.
over.
we talked about quality time. And what was the other one we talked about?
For me, acts of service.
Acts of service.
And you know what, I'll tell you,
yeah.
that was such a surprise to me, because in my past relationships, let's be honest and kind, it didn't happen that much. I was on my own if I wanted to do something.
Me too.
And if I didn't know how to do it, it didn't get done.
And then she called me.
And I called Sean and the computer stuff. I would call Elliot, I would call Bruce, with the computer stuff and say, help because. But physical stuff, anything around the house, any ideas about decorating, any ideas about fixing, any ideas of possibilities that I couldn't do, I didn't know that when someone stepped in and said, I'll do that with you, I went, na, 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 na.
I never had that either.
And that feeling of being heard,
and
the feeling of being supported,
mutual support,
and doing something together.
Yeah.
How much fun it's been.
Well, you know what? For me, one of the ways that I achieve intimacy with someone has been kind of the way I've done it, is that you have experiences together. And you support each other through challenges. Right. Then the intimacy happens because you've got all these wonderful shared experiences and wins and victories that you've created together.
Right. And you know, that is more than just acts of service, is more than just being together or traveling together or showing up to a dinner.
Or getting me a cup of coffee in the morning, although that's my favorite in the morning. Oh, to me, that's like the most luxurious thing.
Isn't that funny?
Being in bed and my partner brings me coffee.
See, I have a different act of service in the morning.
And cuddle, and
it's more meaningful to me than
coffee. I feel like
it's second.
It's luxury. I'm living the life, you know? I love that.
I want you to have that.
I have it.
See how good I am? It's like instant manifestation. Oh my God. Okay,
so good.
My acts of service are a little different. Just as meaningful. And I wanted to continue what I was saying. When you do things, when you share acts of service as opposed to traveling or going out to a family dinner, you are interacting in a different way. Sometimes when you're on a project together, one person will get frustrated. One person will get upset. Another person might get tired and flake out. You get to deal with that part of the relationship dance also.
God. Do you remember we were trying to do the wall at my old place?
Wow, was that fun? We got to deal with that. And we survived.
We did survive, yeah.
I know.
Especially when you have ideas that run counter sometimes. How do you find that happy medium that transcends the polarity?
Right.
You know?
How do you
feel this way, I feel that way. Well, it doesn't look like they match.
Right, or that's not how you do it. Wow. Tell me that one more time. And I'm going to go get donuts while you figure this out, genius.
Yeah.
Because I have a brain, and I can think ahead, and I want to share with you that I'm useful, I'm helpful. Or I can stand there, shut up, and hand you tools.
That's
Either way works for me.
It works for me.
As long as you know what you're doing.
Really.
You're right. So that acts of service I have come to know that that's important to me, and I didn't know that before. So this test will be helpful.
You know, it really creates that sense of a unified field when we're working on the same project and supporting each other and loving each other, and what do you need and what do you need, and going back and forth. Right. To me, that feels so like the essence of relationship.
It is an up-leveling of a commitment to do something together and not kill each other.
That's the fun part.
I think that's important.
When you're still alive afterwards.
Right.
Boom. What's the next act of service?
Okay.
I covered that one.
No, those are the three that are most important to me, which should be important to you, which was physical touch,
should be
quality time, and acts of service. Now, the other one is gifts.
Gifts.
Bringing.
That was not in your top three.
I know, people would think.
This woman is the gift person.
But look how I've shifted in the past 4 years.
You have.
I wrote the book, Closets, Confessions of a Mini Hoarder. How many books can I plug in one season of shows, do you think? I've written 5 books. So the appropriate one is Closets, Confessions of a Mini Hoarder. It's going to be an ebook soon. And when I went through that transition in life, and
that was really fun.
It was fun for other people.
No.
It was not fun for me necessarily.
But he doesn't listen to a thing you say.
It was a gift. It was a gift of self-knowledge. And therefore, I realized through this journey of looking around my home, I have enough stuff after all. And I wrote the song, I've enough stuff after all. I've enough stuff after all. Yes, I did. So I no longer need gifts.
So, but let's talk about gifts.
Except
from your past understanding,
meaningful gifts, like every wedding, or meaningful rings, and every wedding that I had, because I did write the book, Marry Me More. Anyway, I got married, but the deal was jewelry or a wedding gift that was meaningful, a representation of I love you, I still love you, I want to make a commitment. I want an option to renew.
And I want you to know how valuable you are to me.
Valuable.
The bigger the diamond.
No, it wasn't always big. But seriously, if gifts are meaningful to you, then be honest about it. That and that type of gift is what makes you feel loved.
Like, my new guy's not into gifts that much.
What is the matter with
I
him?
know he's got problems, but
Okay. Wait.
I love
Giving you
gifts.
gifts, or he's not into receiving
He's
gifts?
not into receiving gifts.
Okay, well that's okay.
But he's into giving gifts. He gives
To
me
you.
some lovely gifts. Yeah.
Okay, and that's important to you?
Oh, let's just say I really like it.
Oh.
I wouldn't say it's my top 3. It probably it's on the bottom, but when it happens, you know what I really like, and what I like doing actually is when you find that thing that is something that you really know is going to do it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And you give it to them, and then you get that response that it really was.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Very exciting.
That's nice.
And so
That's
I
nice.
love doing that. I love shopping for gifts. I love finding that perfect gift.
I
I
do.
don't necessarily like the pressure of like at Christmas you got to find the perfect gift.
For
It's
everybody.
a little overwhelming.
Yes.
But
that's too much.
you know, when you come across something that you know is the thing that's really going to tickle their
Right.
fancy and
Right.
you get it, there's nothing sweeter.
Well, that's when giving and receiving is that reciprocal gift. And that's the joy of giving, that when I was a giftaholic, I admit it, I would give gifts because I wanted to see the pleasure
Exactly.
on their face. And they would go, ah, thank you. What is it? And I go, you like it? Yeah. You know,
What do I do with this?
There's a different, but that true giving and receiving energy is so sweet.
And I love receiving. Just for the record,
Yes?
really, really love receiving. And I'm a good receiver.
You are now.
Am I a good receiver?
You are very good, much better than you used to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
that's a
a
learned
challenge.
skill.
That's a
No,
skill.
it is a learned skill because, you know, in the past, I know this is part of my guy's issue actually, when he would be given a gift with other kinds of relationships, there might be some things attached to it that were not necessarily as welcome as the gift itself.
Oh, there were attachment. There were strings attached.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for instance, I had an aunt that used her money to control people, and she would give you a gift, but it was her way of controlling you.
Right.
And you know, that gave me a lot of issues with money and power that I'm working through. But
now you have your own money and your own power.
Yeah. So
it's a good
I
feeling.
think one of the things that we want to talk about in giving gifts is making sure that that gift is something from your heart, something that you don't necessarily need reciprocated, but is just from the pleasure of wanting to see that person's face.
Exactly.
And also on the receiving end, it's really helpful and important to be honest and authentic about how you feel about A, receiving gifts in the first place,
Right.
and B, about how you feel about the gift you've received,
Right.
so that we can improve the communication on that level
Exactly.
as well.
Exactly. And that's all about self-love and self-honesty. So look at that and discover new ways to enjoy the fact that someone gave you a gift, even if you're not that into giving gifts.
Or
And-
into the gift.
And
even.
to show that appreciation for them. I got a gift from my sweetheart, and it was, okay, admittedly, a toy. But it was a gun that you pop and confetti comes out. It was adorable. I loved that. And I thought, what an adorable, thoughtful gift. Went out in the backyard and we celebrated something, and we shot the confetti, and we sat there, and I went, he is the cutest thing. And this is the best gift.
Okay, so here's the wrong way to do this. It was my mother's birthday. My father got her an ironing board. Did not go over well.
Never, ever. Ever. I don't care if they love gifts. Wrong gift. Appliances, unless they are a cook and they want that Cuisinart that's $1,000. Never give someone a gift associated with work or something they have to do that they don't enjoy. Ask them and make a list secretly. And when the time comes up, they'll forget it, but you'll show up with that gift and you will be such a hero.
And then I remember as a child, honey, I found your drill.
Yeah.
And she was supposed to get excited about it. It was his drill. He just had no concept.
Okay, that's not a gift. Refinding is not regifting in any sense, or
But you
gifting
can
in a
kind
good
of see
sense.
how things can get a little skewed in terms of perception and what people will appreciate and what
Well,
they won't appreciate.
Once again, that's why this tool of finding out what language or many you speak and sharing that with the other person, then allowing them to tell you, no, what I really like is the fifth one, and the fifth one is
Good segue.
Time in my man cave. No, I'm kidding. Which, trust me, they all like.
What is it?
It is
You got it?
words of appreciation.
Words of appreciation.
Words, Roxanne. Worms.
There we go back to
Worms.
that
Because
greatest aphrodisiac there ever is.
words.
Appreciation.
Appreciation. Yes.
Being seen, gotten, known,
Right.
and acknowledged.
Right. Now, I can live personally. I can live with praise, words of appreciation, give me gifts. I can live with any of these 5. But knowing your top 1 and 3, really important. But I was raised that talk is cheap. So words of appreciation generally don't land that well. I want action. Show me you love me. That's what my dad always
Well,
used
that's
to
the
say.
service part.
That's the service.
But let's talk about words of appreciation.
Okay, go ahead. Words.
It's so funny. I was with my best girlfriend yesterday.
Thank you. We had a good time.
And we were, not you.
Oh.
You're the other best friend.
The other.
I have 2.
It's all right.
You never called me that. Anyway, let's go. So I was with her, and she was so funny. We were hanging out, and
She's funny.
she was kind of Howard Cosell-ing through our experience, acknowledging and appreciating every step of the way, as if she was a sportscaster.
Right.
And it got kind of funny because she was using alliteration and she was using all these little things. And it was like she was trying to be serious, but we were so busy laughing that I don't know if it worked or not. But so you've got to find your time and your way, and the also, we're all of these love languages. What's really important about it is that you communicate to one another about these and what you like and what you appreciate and the way.
Exactly.
Because, for instance, for her, talk is cheap, but if I give her a compliment, you know what she does?
Really?
I don't mind.
I tell
She
you, I
doesn't
don't mind.
So she appreciates it, and it lands. And then when you follow up with the action, so we've had the communication. So I get that piece, she gets that piece. The words are good, and the action is good.
And she rubs my
So
feet.
for me,
I'm happy.
For me, I love being acknowledged. I love being gotten, especially when it's something I've been working on.
Right.
And
Right.
someone validates that. That to me is the kind of mirror that I need to feel like, oh, I'm making some progress.
I'm doing
in my
it.
life. I'm
Right.
getting there.
Right.
So those words of appreciation for me are really, really important.
Is that number
And I
3
love
for
to
you?
give them.
That's number 3.
Yeah.
Quality touch, physical touch, quality time, and words of
And words of
appreciation.
appreciation.
Which is very interesting. Now, with some couples that I know,
Well, I had one more thing.
go
I wanted
ahead,
to say.
please, Dave.
I also noticed that I have had in the past, and sometimes now,
Because you've grown so much.
I have had difficulty receiving it. If it's, for instance, if it's something that I've heard 2 million times,
Right.
yeah, that's nice.
Right.
But when you get to that part where that's something I'm particularly working on, that's like, oh, really? Okay, now I'm really listening.
I'm being heard. I'm being seen.
And I'm able to receive it and take it in. So,
right.
all the stuff on the receiving end is really important. How do you
Right.
receive it? What do you do when you receive it? What do you do with it? Do you take it in? Thank you, I know.
Right.
Or do you not hear it? Or does it not land?
Deflecting.
Yeah, and deflecting. A lot of us do that. So we have a little thing we do in God is Cam, and we say, well, it's 2 things actually. First one is, thank you, I know, when we receive a compliment.
Thank you, I know.
And we breathe it in, and we claim it.
Feels good to be
And
seen.
the other thing is we ponder our greatness.
Yes.
Here we go. Pondering our greatness. We take a moment, and we focus upon ourselves, and we appreciate and honor the light and joy and beauty that we are.
Yes.
And this is the pose.
It feels good. It feels good to do it. And it's not about ego, you guys. It's about understanding we are gifts of light and source and God and love and everything on this earth. And when we do something that is good, all glory might go to God. But God has created us. We're doing the work. We're getting it right.
We're the other half of
proud.
the equation.
Right.
And to acknowledge that, and to know what you're bringing, and to know what you've got, and to know how far you've come,
Yes.
it breeds confidence
It does. And to see
and
somebody
empowerment.
it breeds empowerment.
Yes.
So you do it again, and you do it more and better.
Yeah.
So when you also recognize somebody for doing well with words of appreciation, they feel gotten. They feel heard.
Understood.
Understood.
Big, big, big. That's big for a lot of people.
Right.
Feeling
And especially for
understood.
guys, that number 1, this is a separate category, but men love appreciation. Number 1 in life. It's not a language. It's how you treat them. You appreciate your man. You cherish your woman. We'll talk about that on another show.
Men want to be of service to us.
That's right.
And if they feel gotten and received, and they feel that we know that's what they're doing, they want to do more.
Right.
But if we don't appreciate it and we denigrate it, or we make it less
or
than
you criticize,
beautiful, exactly,
or you make them
then
wrong,
they're going to go somewhere else to get it.
Oh yeah, that's another show.
That's another show.
So you don't try and change them. You appreciate every effort, and you communicate. So this is the 5 love languages is one of the best ways to communicate your relationship needs and listen to their relationship needs.
And actually give them what they want too.
Isn't that
Two sides of the equation? Amazing, isn't it?
Yep, it works.
Took me a long time to learn that.
Well, we didn't know a couple of years ago.
We've done this. Have we done this?
This show?
Yeah.
We're excellent.
We're brilliant.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being with us. Hope you got something out of this.
Email us.
Next time.
Email us, goodmorninggoddess.com. Is that right?
Yeah, it's
all right.
It's Helena or Jen, G-E-N, at goodmorninggoddess.com.
That's right.
Until the next time, good morning,
Good morning, goddess. Mm-hmm.